Hello, my name's Ashley Windsor, and in this video I want to show you just quickly in Explain 11 how you determine which entry hole to use for an instrument approach. In this particular case, I'm going to show you an NDB approach. However, the exact same technique also works for VORs, ILS, any instrument approach, even GPS approaches. Okay, so currently I'm approximately 10 nautical miles to the west of the Latrobe Valley NDB. As you can see, I've dialed it in there. That's okay. Yeah, so about 10 miles to the west. So what I need to do is actually do a quick 180 and start heading in that direction towards the NDB. And just a quick, I'm not sure how many people are familiar with this trick. If you do a turn 80 degrees to one direction and then 260 degrees in the other direction, it should theoretically turn you 180 degrees, but also have you on approximately the same track in the opposite direction. So I'll give it a go. It only works if it does it at rate 1, and I'm using the autopilot today because I don't have my flight controllers plugged in. So what I'll do is I'll turn to a heading of 190, and then immediately, as soon as the plane reaches that point, turn back around the other direction. Let's see how it goes. So as soon as I reach 190, I'll turn back to the easterly heading, and obviously you have to turn in the opposite direction. Hopefully this will work out. We're close to rate 1, so this should work. And okay, now let's turn back the other way. And this is called a procedural turn. I don't want to go past the bottom because it'll start turning back the other direction. A procedural turn enables you to turn 180 degrees while returning on the same track. So it should work in theory. If I go past the bottom, it's going to start turning in the other direction because it'll be quicker than to go around the long way. That would go against the whole point of this exercise. Okay, so back on the easterly heading, it should settle on the same track we were on before. Not that you can tell visually, but... let's see, we were... I think it was 265 from the NDB. I forgot to take note. So yeah, pretty close to easterly, so... It's looking pretty close. I reckon we might be pretty close. Visually, I don't think we're quite on the same track because I think we were a bit closer to that freeway before. But not too bad. So at the moment we're about... Actually, that's pretty close to it. See, looking at that, putting that needle up here, we're not quite on the exact same track, but we're not far off it. Not far off at all. So that's pretty good. So that's a procedural turn, 80-260 turn. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. I want to show you how you determine which procedural entry, which entry you're going to make into a holding pattern. Now, the NDB I'm heading into, because we're about 10 miles out right now, so you should already have done your briefing. You should know what entry you're going to make, what outbound track you're going to do, what inbound track, etc. I mean, you missed approach procedure. So, the inbound track is 0 to 8. Okay, that seems like a pretty odd number, like a lot of approaches. It's not going to be exactly on north or east or west. 0 to 8. So, and it is a left-hand pattern. So, what I do, this is what I was taught, and it's not necessarily the only way to do it. It's not probably not even the best way, but I'm a visual learner. So, the center of the DG, picture that as the nav aid, right? And you have to visually picture 0 to 8 in this particular case. So that's about there. So that's going to be your inbound track, and it's a left-hand pattern, so it goes that way. So you should visualize the actual holding pattern, and then from the direction you're coming, you can then determine what direction you should turn or what sort of entry you should do. So in this particular case, if this is the inbound track is 0 to 8 degrees, and it's a left-hand pattern, I'd probably just go into a direct entry. If I had a holding pattern that was going 210 degrees and it was a left-hand turn, it would look like that. And that would be probably a teardrop entry, because if you visually see the holding pattern, you can determine which entry to use. Let's see, if I had a hold, say 300 degrees, and it was a left-hand turn, you'd visualize it. And then I would probably use a parallel entry. So all you need to do is just visualize the actual holding pattern on top of your DG, and you can visualize a lot of things on the DG. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short video and has taught you a little thing or two, whether it be the procedural turn or a sector entry. And because you've only got the 3 sector entries to choose from, your direct entry, parallel, or teardrop, and just if you can visualize the actual holding pattern, that should hopefully make it a bit easier for you to visually see what sector entry to use. Anyway, I hope this has been informative for you, so thanks for watching. See you later.